And we know that celebrities make public policies. We call them influencers. So should a man that lacks the capacity for empathy and invest literally billions of dollars in trying to get off the best planet we have? Because the reality is, even if we terraform Mars, even if we find life on Mars, even if there's water particles on Mars, Mars is literally a hellscape. It's literally a hellscape. So we're going to sacrifice preserving the world, the Earth's ecosystems, and we're literally destroying the Earth's ecosystems, basically a paradise, a planet that is so well situated for life and the perpetuation of life and biodiversity. We're literally destroying that to go to dead planets, and we think that's progress. You live in a healthy, functional planet or part of the country, and you're going to spend all your money and destroy the land that you live on so that you can go live in a dead place. You're going to leave the tropics and move to the tundra. And you're going to destroy the tropics in order to build up the resources you need to move to the tundra. And you're thinking, I could live here and just breathe the air. I can live here and just drink the water. I could live here and literally walk out in the streets and pick my food from a tree. But I'm going to go to a place where I don't have air and I have to have artificial breathing apparatus. I don't have water. I'll have to reconstitute my own urine. I don't have food. I'll have to reconstitute my own feces. And I'll live in these little bubbles where I can't even go out into the atmosphere. And that's technological progress. And again, this is literally collective insanity. But y'all, I see y'all sharing articles all the time about SpaceX, thinking you're part of the future, as if they would let your ass. And Malcolm X said back in the 60s, they won't even let us near the rocket, let alone let us on the rocket. And we still believe there's a colored section on the white man's rocket to escape planet Earth. And instead of stopping the white man from destroying the planet Earth, we want to lobby or see if the white man will allow us to buy a ticket on his rockets to escape planet Earth. We're going to be having protests about diversity on Mars. I'm like, man, what? I'll just quote Del Jones and say, I wish I could say it like he said it. Something wrong with y'all. Something is wrong with y'all. Why aren't you rebelling? And say it like that Nigerian meme from a few years ago. Why aren't you rebelling? Why aren't you rebelling? What is it? What? I mean, okay, listen, maybe you want to ball out. Go rent a Porsche. Go Airbnb a mansion for the weekend. It ain't all that. Maybe if you did that and say, okay, yeah, this is a mansion, this is a Porsche. Save up your money and take a Learjet, a first class trip somewhere. Do it. If that's really in your system, you get it out your system and then come back and tear this goddamn system down. Because it ain't, that's what you're trading clean air for? A luxury car is worth quality air? A big gaudy ass house is worth pure water? Because that's what the trade-off is. And maybe your grandkids, if you make enough multi-generational wealth, because we got Jay-Z and Beyonce telling us, Beyonce literally said Blue Ivy and Blue Ivy's kid are going to govern and rule over our kids because they have so much money that their family is now part of officially elite. So Blue Ivy, regardless of what kind of woman she grows up to be, more likely than not, she'll have a lot of sociopathic tendencies because there's no way you can grow up a billionaire and not have it. It breeds sociopathic tendencies. She's going to rule over our kids that aren't even born yet. And y'all shaking your ass to that. You're looking... Y'all shaking your ass to a woman who literally says, I'm going to reinstitute a monarchy. Right. Why am I talking about Elon Musk? He's not even in my notes. Anyway, unfit to rule. But y'all don't care. Y'all talk about multi-generational wealth and legacy. But you conduct yourself in such a way where history is going to look back at you in utter confusion as to why we did what we did. And if you just think about how you look back on and talk that BS about if I was here during slave days, you would have snatched that whip right out of master's hands, right? But you're here during capitalist days, but you won't snatch that dollar or that Dogecoin or that deed to property out of the landlord's hands. So stop it. You would have met your cotton quota and snitched on Harriet. If you're not rebelling now, you wouldn't have rebelled back then. Who you think you fooled? But I continue to digress. I ain't watching Saturday Night Live. I never watched it. Okay, me and my shit. Okay, let me not play. I not as radical as I imagine myself, but not that if I was watching Saturday Night Live, I would have stopped watching Saturday Night Live. How about that? Now, I did not watch Saturday Night Live for them to sell out like that. And now you're not losing a viewer, but you're losing my consideration to perhaps one day to have become a viewer. Now you lost that for whatever it's worth. Because y'all platforming billionaire parasites. But I mean, it's owned by billionaire parasites, the whole network. But you can't win, you can't make it, and you can't get out of the game. Hell, I'm gonna do one show where it's just all song lyrics strung together. But we can't win. We could win. It would be relatively easy to win. We saw what happens when laborers basically say we ain't going to work. And all these self-made billionaires, we finally find out, oh, they're not self-made millionaires. They're parasitic dependents on the workers. But that don't roll off the tongue as well as self-made millionaire. Parasitic dependents. They're not self-made. They're parasitic dependents. Anyway, What are we talking about today? Ending the genocide cycle.